Hi, I'm Mweia, your nutritionist with Forward 40 Moves. And right now we're going to take a look at our cooking oils. This is a big topic for us because as Trinidadians, we really use a lot of soybean vegetable oil, right? So once it says vegetable oil, it's soybean oil. But it's really not the best choice for our health, right? Because soybean oil tends to cause a lot of inflammation and it's very, very, very highly processed. So we have here a selection of different oils that you may not be that accustomed to but are becoming more and more popular, right? So coconut oil is very popular now, and there's a lot of confusion because people say, oh well, coconut oil used to be unhealthy. They told us not to cook with coconut oil and now all of a sudden it's healthy again, right? And part of the challenge was that the way we were processing it with high heat would change the structure of the oil. So now, as you see here, we have virgin coconut oil. So just like you have extra virgin olive oil, you have now extra virgin coconut oil. And the way you can tell the difference is the color is usually like really bright white versus the ones that are heated are usually a little bit more yellowish. But so if you, a really good cooking option, especially for high heat cooking, is the virgin coconut oil because it stands up to heat pretty well and it's minimally processed. Another option that we do know about locally, especially in the Indian community, would be ghee, right? Ghee is really just clarified butter. So they remove all the milk proteins from the butter to get pure ghee. And ghee is actually a pretty healthy option as well. Now it is an animal fat, so it would have saturated fat. So it's not saying, oh, it's healthy, I can use as much as I want. You still want to control the amount you use, but it is a pretty good option. Of course, you have your good old butter. And again, years ago we moved away from butter thinking that it was unhealthy, and we became more into margarines and things of that nature. But now they're coming back to say, oops, the margarine contains trans fat, which is going to raise your cholesterol and clog things up. So actually, natural unprocessed butter is a better choice than margarine. Then we have well, of course, there's tons of olive oil, and that is, I think, one of the best options for general use in the kitchen, low heat, quick cooking, or even making your own homemade salad dressings. But let's go through some other things that we may not be as familiar with. We have here avocado oil, actually a really, really good quality oil. It says medium to high heat cooking. So like the coconut oil, it stands up a little better to high heat than the olive oil, and it tastes really, really yummy. Sesame oil. We do tend to use sesame oil, especially in our Asian dishes. But if you ever notice the sesame oil that you would buy in most stores, if you read the fine print, it says sesame flavored oil, which means it's really soybean oil with a touch of sesame in it. So the better choice would be to look for oil that is 100% sesame oil because it is actually pretty good for you and has some benefit to your body. So here we have unrefined medium heat sesame oil. So great option to cook with as well. Now I guess because this is unrefined, it won't have the flavor of the typical sesame oil we know, but you can always get the toasted sesame oil, which is going to give you that rich flavor that we tend to use sesame oil for. So I think that, oh, of course we have canola oil. Let's talk about that a little bit. It says organic expeller pressed canola oil. Canola oil, well, what is it, right? Everything else is kind of obvious, right? Sesame oil comes from sesame seeds. Avocado oil will come from avocados. But have you ever heard of a canola? What's a canola? I don't know. So canola oil was actually created, it's a Canadian product, and from the rapeseed plant, but it had to be processed because naturally it had an element in it that was poisonous. So they had to process the seeds so that they can make the oil more palatable. It's become popular because it's low in saturated fats, it's high in monosaturated fats. So a lot of cardiologists tend to recommend it to their heart patients. But it's a bit of a controversial topic in that it's not as healthy as they kind of market it to be, right? So we have to sometimes read between the marketing and the facts, right? And the facts are that it is a highly processed oil as well, and so a better choice would be your good old olive oil, right, over your canola oil, especially if you have specific health challenges that you're trying to address. So I think that sums up all we can say about healthy fats in terms of your cooking oils for today. So thank you for watching Forward 14 Moves.